everyone, and welcome to Let A Dust Playing Lone Wolf, The Huntress, Book 3, Echoes of Eternity, Part 5. So, I have here... Where was I? On 191. And I had just, after dying many times... found a secret lair. I think. And inside of that secret lair is stuff. And at the bottom here it asked me if I had the Boris hand cannon, to which, yes, I do. And then we are now going to find out why it asked me that. So, continuing from where we left off, we are going to 156. And I'm so excited that I'm getting to use my Boris hand cannon, because whatever happens next might be very American, because some people were asking me, some people were telling me, hey, you dropped the American thing, and not really, it's just, nothing very American happened, plus there's been a lot happening in America right now, so I feel like my definition of choosing the dumbest route possible is very American, and that's kind of what I've been doing for the Huntress so far, and also just fighting when it's not necessary and being unnecessarily brash as well. And I think I've been very validated these last, couple days / weeks. So, yeah, that just hasn't really come up because the Huntress has been pretty gay, in my opinion, for a while now. And that's kind of taken precedent. Don't fight. Okay, 156. You look up from the table. Before you stands the small man, whose green skin turns cyan in the light of the furnaces. In his hand he cradles a hand cannon, though it is more like a rifle at his size. It is not any gunna, however. The pattern on it is too familiar, the rune too unique. Where did you get that, you ask? I'm asking the questions, he says, cocking back the hammer with an audible click. This is your first time ever using that, you counter. Otherwise you'd know better than to spill boom powder on your sleeve while loading. Surprised, the little man's eyes dart to the black smudges on his sleeve, and in that single instant your own gunna is hammer-cocked and pointed directly at the little man's head. On the other hand, this is not my first time, you say. His eyes cross as he studies the gunna pointed at him. They are the same, he stammers. Impossible. This belonged to Maledictus. There is none other like it in the entire world. The Boris made them, you say. Not this one. This comes here, from Voltac. That's impossible, you say. It is, he agrees. Unless you aren't one of the invaders. You're from beyond the storm veil, aren't you? Just like me. With that, the strange man holsters his gun and claps his hands with delight, doing a little single-shoed dance. Change the name of your Boris hand cannon to Voltac hand cannon. Turn to 68. What? Okay. Well, that wasn't the altercation I anticipated, but I guess he's okay, so it's fine. Wait, what? Okay. Where do I even have that listed? Boris hand cannon. There. So am I no longer the Boris gunner? Do I need to change that to Voltac gunner? Because this one, it doesn't tell me to change the name of my hunting art. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe. Then 68. Ooh, long one. I suppose I ought to test if you're real or a figment of my imagination, the man says, his dancing stopping in an instant. Quick, how many fingers am I holding up? I can't see them, you say. You're holding your hands behind your back. He blinks in surprise. I suppose I am. And I guess that proves you are real. My imagination would have a far more interesting answer. Well then, welcome to the Forge. My name is Tavosh, famous historian. Or, at least I was getting famous. When. And who are you? I cannot call you mysterious female stranger. It's far too long. People call me the Huntress, you say, sensing no malice, only exuberance from Tavosh. And what year are you from, my dear? What do you mean, you ask? What was the year you sailed into the Stormveil? MS 5000, you say? My word, he exclaims, now doubly excited. Another traveler, I knew it. I myself am from MS 4434. We both have traveled thousands of years backwards. The year here is 2511, before the creation of the Moonstone, that is. It is the date that the Decide Trench will be, created by the touch of Nar, similar to how he created the Chasm of Gorgoron in Desai. Neither should have been possible, for his influence on Magnemon has been countered by Ashir and Kai since the beginning of the age of the Old Kingdoms. Perhaps something is aiding his efforts, something that has been lurking on the sidelines, or deeply underground. We have a remarkable opportunity for study here. Unfortunately, we also have too close a view for comfort. We are on the very island where Nar manifests and makes the trench, the mythical island of Voltec. His words sound like they are crazy, should be impossible, except you know they are not. I've seen it happen, you say. I saw Nar reach down from the heavens. You stop, as the visceral moments of what happened next hit you. You died, Tavish finishes somberly. It's happened to me quite a few times. Oh, but don't worry, it's not permanent. Everyone in this damn city dies every night. But they'll be back to do it all again the next day. By fifth bell, the skies sicken. Kai's light fails, and the city is laid waste once more. Over and over. For a while I kept track of how many times the city had been destroyed, but I gave up after 2,000 or 3,000. Knowing just made it worse. It's like a loop, you say, your mind spinning with the concept. That's not a bad way to describe it, Tavosh says. At least it's beautiful sunrises. The sunsets leave lots to be desired, obviously. If you ask Tavosh to tell you how he came to be here, turn to 27. If you ask Tavosh to tell you more about Voltec, turn to 118. Okay, so we are stuck in a time loop. What's interesting is we're not the only ones that know we're stuck in a time loop. So we now have our companion for this book, I guess. Every book we've been gaining a companion. And this is mine, maybe? Or maybe it's Revon, the bird guy. Tell you more about Voltec. Tell you how he came to be here. Well, he probably came to be here the same way I came to be here, which is he fell into the swirly. If I only get one option, I should ask about Voltec, because I have no clue. Voltec, Tavosh sighs, like a lover reminiscing. In Drodarian, it means paradise dared. All we know of it is from the final records of the lost race of Sawat Empire, dwarves who were destroyed by Agarash the Damned during the Age of Eternal Night. It has been passed down in oral tradition that their last warrior king, Malekdicthus, took his surviving people to the sea, and that they found a paradise where they crafted greater works of machinery and magic. Most think it is a myth, a metaphor for the afterlife. I myself wrote as much in my Ruminations upon Ruin, the Fall of Ancient Civilizations. So imagine my surprise when, after being shipwrecked, I began exploring the island and found evidence not only of an ancient dwarven race living here, but mention of Maledicthus himself. There was no city here at the time, mind you, just the mountain and the vast tunnels underneath it. There were no people either. I was alone, though it was as if I could feel their spirits whispering to me. What happened to the dwarves, you ask? Civil war, according to what records I've found, Tavish says. In the final days of Maledicthus, he went mad and began committing genocide against his own people. It is not recorded why this happened, though I have been searching long for the answer. Tavish runs a hand over a nearby piece of machinery the way most people might pet their dog. Eventually, I found my way here. It is a dwarven workshop, full of their inventions and designs. I became lost in them. Every new piece of dwarven technology or writing I found raised 1,000 other questions. Writings called this place the Hive. I call it the Forge. 20 years, Tavish sighs happily. 20 glorious years I spent here, eating what fruits and fish the island provided. Losing myself entirely in my studies, I began to think of the island as where I belonged. It was my island, an unending gift of knowledge and secrets. Then they came. Turn to 164. They came on golden ships, Tavish recalls, led by an elder magi. You probably heard his name being bandied about his followers, Ventiseus. Ah, can you imagine what it was like for me? 20 years of peace and quiet, uninterrupted work, and then neighbors move in right on top of you, and they are the worst kind of neighbors. Religious nuts. Tavish shudders. They didn't find the forge, thankfully, but they built their twice-damned city right on top of it. My research slowed to near halt. For 60 years more, I endured them. And then the Great Plague came. Tavish need not explain the plague to you. Even in MS 5000, the Great Plague of the Senner Druids is still an event spoken of with dread and sadness. The elder magi, the Drodarian, all the remaining old races were afflicted and met swift bloody deaths from the Cerner's machinations. The streets of Voltec ran with blood of the dying, and bonfires were fed day and night with the bodies of the fallen, Tavish recounts. Ventiseus was terrified of the plague. He disappeared, locking himself in isolation deep inside the halls of supremacy, only communicating with his people via the closest and most trusted priests. You've probably seen them. The tall ones, with the masks, are called speakers. There's also the ones who wear the needle helmets and have the stitched up mouths. They are called whisperers. But a vaccination was created by the Herbalish, you say. Not yet it has. It hasn't been, Tavish explains. They won't happen for several centuries. The Cerners rule most of northern Magnemon now, but they are opposed by the remaining forces of light. But Ventuseus knows none of this. He has no communication with the mainland. I think he is a rogue elder magi, separated from the rest of his people and fled here. That's left him to come up with his own solution. The medicine, you say, remembering the gathering in front of the Halls of Supremacy. Tavish nods. I don't know where he got it, whether it is something he created or found. It stopped the plague from spreading, sure enough, but everything changed after that. The name of Nar began to be whispered on the streets. I could feel his presence on the island like a cockroach that you know comes out when the torches are extinguished. And then, one afternoon, I emerged from the forge to find the sun bleeding and the mountain cracking, a hole ripped in reality, and the dark god waiting on the other side. I did the only thing I could think of. Maledictus and his people had built a device designed to tap into the power of the confluence, but had never activated it, deeming it too unpredictable. Seeing as the world was ending, I turned it on. At first, I thought it had worked. The forge went quiet, all the sounds of destruction ceased. I went outside and found the city completely healed of all its damage, like it had all been a bad dream. And that was the first time I ever experienced the time loop, as you called it. But how do we turn it off, you ask? How do we save Voltec and return time to normal? We don't, Tavish says, looking at you as if you are an idiot. That device is the only thing keeping Nar from actually getting into Magnemon. Do you understand? In our futures, Nar's touch makes the Desai Trench and causes an unprecedented disaster to strike the Desaian coast. But what I've seen here on Voltec suggests that making the trench was only a small part of his intentions. I am sure he meant to do something more. Perhaps he meant to step through the portal and manifest completely on Magnemon. Trapping Voltec in time loop is the only reason we have a future to come from. Tavish gives you a smile loaded with equal parts cynicism and sympathy. Welcome to your forever home. Hope you like salted fish. Pick a number from the random number table. If it is even, turn to 225. If it is odd, turn to 96. Oh. Well, hopefully it will not be my forever home. I still have to get back to some, girl waiting for me to find a solution. And I still have the kunai parasite. It would spread, right? How sad. They found a solution to their plague and I'm here coming and, coming with the parasite. Okay. Let's see what we are going to go to. Rolling a 5. That's an odd number. Oh no, that's the second option. Maybe that's not a good thing. Let's see. Maybe good thing, maybe bad thing. I don't know. Who knows anymore? For a long time you wander the forge, your mind too busy with all the new information to sleep. If you have the art of alchemy, you find enough tools here to make 2 potions or poisons. Eventually Tavish calls to you, and you come to a strange little room filled with a complicated series of bizarrely shaped clocks hung on the walls and leaning against machines, none of which count time in any conventional way. Several, you think, are running backwards. It should be over now, Tavish says, after consulting one that you are not even sure is working. And I suspect it will be mid-morning again on a brand new day. Hard to tell for sure, but you'll find out soon enough. If you go out there and immediately catch on fire, we got it wrong. As he says this, one of the many machines that lines the walls makes a terrible grinding noise and emits a loud belch of orange smoke. Tavash curses and darts behind the machine to try and correct it. The place would fall apart if not for me, he calls out. It's been temperamental ever since I turned on the machine. Have you ever tried to find out what is summoning Nard? You ask, shouting over to be heard over the sound of Tavash banging on the machine. Something to do with Ventheseus and the medicine, no doubt, Tavash says. But Ventheseus can't very well be asked about it. He's locked away in the halls of supremacy, and I have no idea how he makes his medicine. What if I find out? You ask. Tavash pokes his head out, his face black with grease. And what makes you think you could? It's why they call me the Huntress, you say. Tavash does not answer, and after blinking a few times, goes back to work. Then the noise of his work stops, and quietly he says, I've got something for you. By the D slack and on the bench there. He tried to make sense of the various tools on the bench, a collection that is little more than odd bits of metal to you. Then your eyes fall on a sheathed blade. Spot it? Tavash asks. That was my old short sword, Time Reaver. Don't get too excited. It's a farcical name. Back when I imagined myself an adventurer, I never actually had much use for it. The only time I got robbed, I hid it for fear it would get stolen. It's Talistrian steel, though, sharp as blazes. Take it, if you think it would be of help to you. What Tavash calls a short sword is more like a machete in your hands. However, when you draw the blade from the scabbard, it gleams as if freshly oiled, and you can see that the edge is indeed deadly sharp. If you wish to keep the Time Reaver, mark it as a weapon on your action chart. It counts as a dagger. It adds +1 to your combat ratio when wielded in battle and can be used with other one-handed weapons. You'll need good steel if you're going to save Voltec, Tavash explains. Crazy an idea as it may be, you need to start with finding out what the medicine really is and where it comes from. That's the source of the evil. Turn to 197. Okay, a lot going on here. I'm going to first mark down 197. I don't know if I should keep that. So I have the Bejeweled Warhammer, but that's like special. I don't know if the Time Reaver is special. And I can only keep 2 weapons. I think the Bejeweled Warhammer is dual wielded, so you need both of your hands. Adding +1 to my combat ratio is kind of huge. Is it more valuable than +1 damage dealt? I feel so. Because, okay, let's consult this. Let's go from here, -1. And then it would be that they take 1 more damage, and then I also take 1 less damage. Obviously, if I go from 2 to 1, it wouldn't change, but it typically means 1 more damage for them and 1 less damage for me, depending on what the ratio is. That's pretty good. I don't know. I feel like I should do it. And I should replace it with the Crystal Dagger, potentially. I've had the Crystal Dagger for so long, though. It is only it's one-handed, and it can be wielded with other one-handed weapons. But I don't know. It counts as a dagger. The crystal dagger is a dagger. It feels useful, right? Maybe I'm supposed to keep it. Alright, let's keep it. I've had the crystal dagger for quite a long time. And the only out of battle thing that I've had for it has been a bad thing. Because it was... it was proof that I murdered one of the sisters of the Waking Flame. When really, I'm just a little klepto. Okay, let's go ahead and keep it. Time Reaver dagger. Dagger. So that means I would be able to throw it, right? I feel a little bad, but... Combat ratio? When wielded in battle. Yep. Will do. And then that means I will go here and I will go minus crystal dagger. And then plus Time Reaver. And then on the previous page it said I was allowed to make 2 recipes. So here's my recipe list. Let's take a look at what I am missing and what I have because I actually forgot. So I'm down a glow bottle. So I feel like let's make a glow bottle. Maybe I should get rid of my crowbar. I've had it for quite a while and I don't think I'm going to have a use for it. It will really suck if I still have a use for it after, but I think now is the time to get rid of the crowbar if there's something else I want. Antitoxin, I still have that. I do still have one. Let's go through the list. I don't have a screen crawler poison. I do have the concentrated acid. I do have 1 Viper's Bite. I have an antitoxin. I have 1 singular fire seed. So maybe I can use that to make 2 more. That might be good. But I don't know. We're definitely going to do the glow bottle. Maybe the tincture of Larnuma might be good. So I'm stuck between this one, and maybe 2 more fire seed. The fire seed are in my special items, so I would not need to erase the crowbar in order to do that. I still have the Sun Shield though. I evidently never used it. So I feel like if you have the Skin Crawler poison, that would like remove 1 round of combat damage to you. And then that's, in my opinion, potentially better than the tincture of Larnuma, because that only restores 3. The Skin Crawler poison could potentially make it so that you don't take even more than 3 damage. So yeah, maybe I'll have another opportunity to do something that can make fire seed later, but for now let's do glow bottle for sure. And then yeah, goodbye crowbar, thank you for your service. We will replace this with skin crawler poison. And then let me go over to my notes. I am just going to write here on the second line anyway. Minus crowbar, plus glow bottle, plus skin crawler. Our skin crawl, that's fine. And then I will know that all of this happened here by doing this. Yeah. And I will move this down one space. There. Okay. Lovely. All correct, right? So I still have all of that money and I never used it and I never had a chance to. So maybe I should have visited the town in the last book to buy stuff because I don't think I'm going to have an option. Okay. A short while later, Tavish leads you out of the forge and back to the hedgerow entrance. It is a little past dawn, and you are grateful to see none of the apocalyptic signs, though Tavish assures you they will come again. He gives you one last warning to be careful, especially around the speakers and whisperers of Ventaseus. They are his personal assistants, and they've been searching for the source of the time loop, Tavish says, just before disappearing back into the maze. Remember, whatever has hold of the people of Voltac, it wants Gnar to succeed. You are left standing on golden streets under bright light, surrounded by the people of Voltac. You should feel like an outcast. Everyone has a smile. Everyone wears gorgeously made clothing. Men and women alike favoring robes and saris. Everyone has perfect olive-hued skin. Whereas you have hair, which feels like it has been glued together with sand and salt water, and have not had a proper wash since before you set sail from the mainland. The sea breeze wafts the smell of you up into your nostrils. It is not a pleasant scent. And yet, as you look into the faces of the children playing, lovers walking together, and friends talking, you feel connected. A feeling of belonging. It feels like coming home. You swear to Ashir and Kai that you will not rest until you find a way to save the city and her people. Erase the storm endurance from your action chart and restore your endurance to its maximum. Then decide where to go. You can take Grace Dancer Road, which leads up to the Halls of Supremacy, turn 248. Or you can wander the city more freely, turn to 94. Okay. Did I write Storm Endurance anywhere? Oh, right here, Storm Endurance. Sure. My max is only 3 less than that, so it's not that bad. Not that much of a difference. And I died a whole bunch of times, so I didn't really have any use for that storm endurance. I don't know what was supposed to happen. I wonder if I did that wrong, but I don't think I did. Alright. To its max. Plus 3 now. Oops. And then what should I write here? Minus storm endurance? So that means I'm no longer stuck in, or I'm not expected to be stuck in the time loop. So the next time I die, I die for good. And that also means that the rest of this book is meant to take place in like one day before Nar next arrives. That's a lot to do in a couple of hours, but sure. Let's see. Grace Dancer Road, Halls of Supremacy, or you can wander the city more freely. I think this might be the opportunity to maybe go to the market. So let's do wander. Alright, so I filmed parts 5 and 6 of this Let's Play all in one go, and this clip that you're watching marks the end of part 5. Stay tuned for part 6. That's all I got for you for now. Get out there, do all this stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye!